Let's be honest, compliance often feels like a chore, right? A mountain of rules you have to follow just to stay out of trouble. But what if I told you it's actually one of the most powerful financial tools your business has? Today, we're going to show you exactly how a strong compliance program can directly lower your insurance premiums, turning what feels like a cost into a serious source of savings.
Okay, so if you run a business, you know this feeling all too well. Insurance premiums. They only seem to go one way, and that's up. It's this huge expense that can put a real strain on your budget, and it often feels like you're completely at the mercy of the insurance market. But here's the thing, you're not helpless, not at all. The reality is, you have a surprising amount of control over what you pay. The secret is to stop reacting and start thinking like an insurer. It's all about understanding how they see your business and then using that knowledge to your advantage. All right, so here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll break down the premium problem. Then, we'll reveal your secret weapon against those costs. We'll jump into 3 specific areas where you can find savings, lay out a clear action plan, and finally, we'll completely reframe how you think about compliance for good.
All right, let's dive right in. Section 1, the premium problem. Before we can talk about lowering your costs, you gotta understand why insurance charge what they do in the first place. And really, it all boils down to one simple word: risk.
So, think of it this way. Your insurance premium, it's basically the price tag an underwriter slaps on your company's risk. Their entire job is to guess how likely you are to file a claim. If they look at your business and see a lot of potential for accidents or lawsuits or data breaches, they see you as a high risk. And it's a simple equation. More risk equals a bigger bill for you. Period. Okay, so we've established that risk is the problem. So what's the solution? Well, this is where we get to your secret financial weapon. It's all about a big mindset shift. From seeing compliance as just another cost to seeing it as a powerful tool for control. And it all starts right here with a really solid compliance program. Now, I'm not just talking about ticking boxes. I mean creating clear policies, doing regular training, and actually enforcing the rules. When you do that, you're building a machine to actively manage and crush your risk.
And what happens when you do that? Well, it's pretty straightforward. You get fewer incidents. We're talking fewer workplace injuries, fewer employee lawsuits, fewer data breaches. This isn't just a theory, it's a direct cause and effect relationship. Better compliance just leads to a safer, more secure operation.
And that brings us to the big payoff. When you have fewer claims, you're giving your insurer cold, hard proof that you are a lower risk. And as we just said, in the insurance world, less risk literally means smaller premiums. It's a simple, powerful formula that just works.
All right, so this all sounds great in theory, but where does the rubber meet the road? Let's get specific and look at 3 key areas in your business where you can see a direct, tangible financial return from your compliance efforts.
First up, workplace safety. And wow, the ROI here is just staggering. According to OSHA, for every single dollar you invest in a real, effective safety program, you can expect to save $4 to $6 in return. I mean, that is a huge return. And it's driven by fewer injuries and, you guessed it, cheaper workers' comp premiums.
So how does that actually work? Well, it's all about a little thing called the EMR, or Experience Modification Rate. It's simple, really. The industry average is 1.0. If your injury rate is higher than average, your EMR goes up, and you pay more. But if you can prove you're safer than your competitors, your EMR goes below 1.0, and you get a discount. Your safety record is your price tag.
And look, this isn't just some abstract idea. This is real-world stuff. Take a company like Mount Diablo Resource Recovery. They're in waste management, a tough industry. By putting it in a new safety and compliance system, they managed to cut their incident rate by 50% in just 2 years. That kind of drop goes straight to the bottom line through lower insurance costs. It just proves these programs work.
Okay, area number 2, cybersecurity. This is a big one. Cyber insurance costs are going through the roof, and insurers are now looking at your digital defenses with a microscope. They want to see things like multi-factor authentication, consistent data backups, and real security training for your employees. These things aren't just nice-to-haves for your IT team anymore. Insurers see them as non-negotiable.
And if you really want to show you're serious, formal certifications are the way to go. Getting something like an ISO 27001 certification is a huge signal to your insurer. It's like handing them a signed, sealed, and delivered guarantee that you are a safer bet, which gives them the confidence they need to give you a better rate.
And last but not least, let's talk HR. Having strong HR compliance, clear anti-harassment policies, documented training, fair termination procedures,
It all directly lowers your risk of getting hit with an expensive employee lawsuit. And fewer claims for things like discrimination or wrongful termination means your EPLI premiums stay under control.
Okay, so you get the why and the where. Now for the really important part, the how. How do you actually turn all this into a strategy that pays off?
Think of this as your 4-step action plan. 1. Integrate. Don't treat compliance like a separate department. Make it a core part of your business strategy. 2. Document. This one's critical. Keep records of everything, every training session, every audit, every safety meeting. 3. Collaborate. Be proactive. Talk to your insurer. Share your data. And 4. Update. The world of risk is always changing, so your compliance programs have to evolve with it.
And this is maybe the most important takeaway. It's not enough to just be compliant. You have to prove it with data. All those records, those audit reports, that chart showing your incident rate going down, that's your evidence. That folder of documents, that's your leverage. That's your superpower when you sit down with your insurer.
All right, that brings us to our final section. And honestly, this is the big mindset shift. We call it the compliance payoff, because it's all about adopting a totally new way of thinking about this stuff in your business. I really want you to let this quote sink in. Stop thinking about compliance as just a list of rules you have to follow. It's not. It's a proactive strategy for reducing risk. And once you see it that way, man, the whole game changes.
This is it, right here. The whole shift in perspective. The old way of thinking, it's just a cost center, a black hole for money and time that you have to deal with. But the new view, the smart view, sees it as a profit center, an investment that actively saves you money on insurance and stops costly problems before they ever happen. So I'm going to leave you with a question to take back to your own business. Take a hard look at how you operate. Right now, is your compliance program just another line item, just another cost you have to put up with? Or are you leveraging it as the powerful profit center it absolutely can be?